but the needle is just so thin. And trust me, I am somebody that does not like needles at all. I'm gonna go on ahead and pull this off. Welcome to the Life Lab. I'm Shannon Linville, and around here we test what actually works, or sometimes what doesn't work as well. But today we are talking about GLP-1s, specifically on the topic of Zepbound. And then should you be looking into the name brand pen from Lilly or a compound variety as well. Lots of advantages and disadvantages from a cost perspective to how you actually administer the medication and so on. Just a quick review, I have been on a GLP-1 for 6 weeks. This is week 6. I inject every Monday evening. I tend to do evening time because sometimes I can feel a little bit lethargic. I'm not getting any of the other symptoms such as GI issues or really anything else. So lucky there. But I do want to talk about just specifically the two types, the administering of it and pros and cons. So first here I have the actual Zepbound itself and the pen from the manufacturer Lilly. So we can see here Zepbound, I am on 5 milligrams at this point. So the first 4 weeks I was on 2.5 milligrams and I was actually doing it with the compound pharmacy here where I'm drawing up the actual compound of Tirzepatide, the peptide Tirzepatide. So I was on 2.5 for the first 4 weeks, and then I go up to 5 milligrams, which I am currently on. Let's talk about cost. So the actual Zepbound Lilly brand itself, you have one of two ways of going about it. Either your insurance is going to cover it if you have insurance, or oftentimes it will not. And then if it is not, you're going to have to pay for it out of pocket. There are several platforms, online platforms that you can go to or through your doctor to self-pay. And then you have the compound pharmacy, also typically through your doctor, but also you can do it not through your doctor. I do recommend through your doctor. I do recommend through your doctor. I do recommend through your doctor. I also am not a doctor, so maybe take my advice with a grain of salt. But I went through my doctor for the compound pharmacy where he prescribed the Tirzepatide peptide itself. Some of these will come with other additives, not bad additives, just additional additives like vitamin B12 for additional energy, maybe to offset some of the effects of lethargy or whatnot. But so I just have the Tirzepatide right here, and that is the route I went. My compound pharmacy, let's talk about cost or investment. So I'm able to get a 3-month supply for $500. So that was, what is in this vial is the equivalent of 2.5 milligrams for 4 weeks, 5 milligrams for 4 weeks, and 7.5 milligrams for 4 weeks. This is my insulin needle here. I'll talk about that in a second. So that's $500 for 3 months, as opposed to if you were to go to a platform like a row.co or something of that nature. If you're wanting to get the actual name brand here, I've seen it go as far as $500, $600, $700, $800 per month for the actual name brand. So you can see already the cost associated with a compound pharmacy versus getting the name brand, if your insurance isn't going to cover it, is pretty significant. So while I am lucky enough to have this actual name brand, Zepbound, there are 4 5 milligram pens in here. I will no longer be able to get this through insurance. Hence, I am doing the compound pharmacy now because I don't want to expend the, 1,000 plus. Definitely multiple thousands if we're going into multiple months as compared to the compound pharmacy. Nextly, I suspect, and I'm not sure yet, but when I go up in dose for my next 3 months on this GLP-1, specifically to the Tirzepatide through my compound pharmacy, I suspect it's going to be a little more than $500 because again, the $500 was for 3 months for 2.5 4 weeks, 5 4 weeks, and 7.5 for 4 weeks. So we'll see. I'll tell you guys what the cost looks like there. The next thing, the administration of the product. So the administration of the product here is a little bit more involved on the compound pharmacy, meaning you have your alcohol swabs, you have your insulin needles here, but the needle is just so thin. And trust me, I'm somebody that does not like needles at all. I'm gonna go on ahead and pull this off so you can see the nature of that, hopefully. It might be challenging to tell, but it's very tiny. And then you can see the units for measurement on the side there. I'm gonna very carefully put this back in there like that. Okay, and then you have just the actual liquid. Let's see if I can show it on the side there at all. You can see it floating around in there. So you have to know how much to dose. It is not a one-to-one comparable of, oh, this many units on, you know, the actual syringe. Let me just count up the little lines there and let me take out 2.5. No, there is a certain amount of milligrams in here versus the milligrams that you have to draw up. So I just ChatGPT'd it. I just said, hey, this bottle is a 15 milligram Tirzepatide with 4 milliliters of a multi-dose vial. That's what it literally says on there. See if we can get it. 4 milliliters multi-dose vial. And at the bottom it says 15 milligrams. And then I just put a picture of the actual syringe itself with the markers on there and said, how much do I need to draw up for 2.5 and for 5? So I would recommend doing that. The pharmacy, the compound pharmacy will also tell you, and they can show you how when they give you the product, but I would still just be cautious of that. And you also have to swab the area. I tend to do in my stomach a couple of inches away from the belly button on either side, alternating it each week. The Zepbound pen, the Lily pen, it is just a pen where you will remove this top, and then there is an injector button here at the bottom. Again, placing it against your stomach or the other areas where you're gonna be administering it. Click the pen, it tells you to hold for 10 seconds. You're gonna hear a click initially when you click the button. That is when the needle is coming out. It will go in. I really don't feel much with this at all. And then you'll hear a second click. Typically it's way faster than 10 seconds. I typically hear it like in, I don't know, 3 seconds. You'll hear a second click. That's the needle popping back up into the syringe and your medication is done. You just want to look for ensuring that there are no droplets of liquid on your skin, because that can indicate maybe you did not get all of the medication into your body. I find actually the self-administering with the Tirzepatide peptide itself from the compound pharmacy with this tiny insulin needle. Again, I don't like needles. I'm kind of scared of them, but I will use them for a variety of things, Botox, fillers, you name it. Definitely beauty's pain. But anyway, you cannot feel this. If you get the angle right, you should do it at a 45 degree or a 90 degree. So that's 45 degree is directly in contact with your skin up and down, and then 45 degree is kind of at that halfway angle. I tend to go 90 degrees, so just straight in to that area, and then I take it to the needle all the way down to the plastic, so to the tip, to the tail end there. People often wonder, well, how far do you take the needle? I take it all the way to the plastic right there, and then I inject maybe 3 seconds. I'm assuming when I have more liquid in the syringe as I go up in dose, it might take a little bit longer. I have no redness, no itching, no blood droplet or anything like that coming out. Injecting with the Zepbound pen, Lily pen, the device here, it's definitely more irritating. Firstly, you can feel, I did mention a second ago, I don't really feel much with this. Well, if you get the angle right with the self-administering insulin needle, you don't feel anything. It's kind of weird. You're seeing this needle approaching your skin and you're like, okay, I'm about to stick it in. And you don't feel anything at all if you get the angle right. This one, it's kind of a mental thing. You have the anticipation of, okay, you're putting this big device against your skin. You have the, you know, the button up here and you're like, okay, I'm gonna press it. And it's not mentally that bad, by the way, trust me. The benefits way outweigh the trepidation or any fear you may have. But you know, you don't really see the needle. For some of you that may work. Some of you it's like, I don't want to have this physical needle I'm controlling and I'm seeing and I want it hidden in a device. For me, surprisingly, not really being a huge fan of needles, I actually prefer this one. So at any rate, at the injection site for the Zepbound pen, I will have blood droplets sometime when I release the device. I definitely can feel it going in, as opposed to this one. If I get the angle right, I don't, for the compound pharmacy. And sometimes there is a little soreness or redness at the site of injection. Nothing to deter you from using it at all. So that is a thing to keep in mind with this. So lower cost on the compound pharmacy, a little bit of consideration of self-administering the correct dose, but really minimal to no feeling of the needle or redness or itching. The pen, definitely more expensive if your insurance does not cover it. A little bit more irritation at the actual injection site itself. So with that being said, if you're interested in my recommendation, what I would absolutely recommend out of these two options is the compound pharmacy for sure. It is more cost effective. That is, unless your insurance is covering the pen, then, you know, maintain with that. But if not, it's more cost effective. You can self-dose. So if you feel like maybe the 2.5 isn't quite getting it for you anymore, or the 5 isn't getting it for you, obviously stick with your doctor, do blood work and so on. But some studies are finding that, say you're on the 5 dose, maybe microdosing it over the week instead of injecting it once a week. I had mentioned earlier, I inject it once weekly, Monday evenings, to just avoid any lethargy or tiredness. But say you do 3 milligrams on that Monday night and then maybe 2 milligrams on that Friday night or something of that nature. Studies are showing that if you microdose like that, your entire dosage, so you're still getting the same dosage over the week, it can help kind of get you over the hump. If you're finding those last couple days, the food noise is coming back, it is seeming not to slow the digestion of your food as much. As we know, it's working on the dopamine uptake in your brain and also slowing the digestion of the food. So it's food noise plus the physical digestion there. Then microdose it. You have that control with the compound pharmacy and the insulin needle and the self-administering versus the pen. Also, say you were on your 3rd of 4 weeks of 5 milligrams and that 5 isn't just quite getting it for you anymore. You could take just a tiny bit more, 1 milligram more. Again, get with your doctor, tell them what you're doing and so on. So you just have the flexibility, the cost savings, the less irritation. It's all win-win for the Tirzepatide, the actual peptide itself from the compound pharmacy, in my opinion. So at any rate, just a review of both administered products. Lots of other things are coming out. There are studies out there of additional peptides that are in various stages of trial that have higher percentage of weight loss. The Zepbound is kind of the Cadillac of, or the Tirzepatide is kind of the Cadillac of the GLP-1s right now, the way it works in the body, and the 20+% of total body weight loss. Well, some studies are showing we're finding some peptides that are getting up into the 30%, 28 to 30% of total body weight loss. They're just in trials right now. So just imagine, we're still at the beginning stages of this when in the big picture and really the effectiveness of this. So be on the lookout for additional news about advancements in these peptides. And that's where we'll leave it today. So thank you so much again, and we appreciate you, and come back on the next one. Bye.